sweet being. Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sophia. You are with us live or watching on replay possibly. So welcome to Circle, everybody. So glad that you have made time for this in your busy life. I know that taking time for you can sometimes feel like a luxury, but I just want to remind you again and again that taking time to have emotional hygiene on the inside creates a whole lot of beautiful things on the outside. So it's super smart that you have decided to come and tap through some feelings, some upsets maybe, some obstacles, and we're going to help you out. So the theme for this week is overcoming obstacles. I know that anyone who's trying to do anything is going to find lots of stuff that comes up, things that you didn't know that you would need to know, things that you thought you were good at that you weren't good at, curveballs, growth edges. So this is a great video for anyone who's struggling right now with something that feels difficult or even insurmountable to achieve. Okay? You'll probably want to come back and use this one many times. Welcome, everybody. Overcoming obstacles. So in this session, I want you to think about something that's really challenging you. Where do you feel like you lose connection, you lose presence, you space out, you want to distract yourself, you want to avoid, you put it off, you put it on the stack of papers to be dealt with until it's last minute, then you know how it is, and you try to scurry, and sometimes we don't do our very best when we feel challenged about something, and we rush to get it done because we feel so overwhelmed about even looking at the issue. So this is really going to help take the edge off so that you can make steady progress, because anything that's large, for example, like a mountain, you're not going to go be like, I'm going to go up that mountain. I think I'm just going to run straight to the top without stopping, and then I'll get there. No. You have to plan a little bit. You prepare yourself. You might even get some support. You might look at the strategy of where you're thinking you're going to go, where you're going to rest, how long that might take. And you're going to make your best guess about pacing yourself so that you can go the distance. And any obstacle is going to be like that, whether it be raising a child, or living with a roommate or a partner, or starting a business, or even learning to do something like pay taxes or drive a car, or whatever it is that you're learning how to do. So think about some place in your life that you feel challenged, okay? And maybe even blocked, like this feels really difficult to approach, and that can be your topic for tonight. Unless you've got something more pressing, and as usual, try to leave it open-ended enough that even though we have a theme, that you're able to jiggle it around and still get the tap that you need by reframing the issue for yourself and modifying the words that I'm giving you as an option to more directly fit your circumstances. I also want to say that off-gassing, for those of you who are new to Circle, I see some new names here. I think Rick is new from ALT. Welcome to you. I want you to know that off-gassing is a natural byproduct of tapping. And what off-gassing means is that your body is going to discharge stored stress from your nervous system, and really from every cell in your body. And actually, it's going to start detoxing stress from your genes, believe it or not. When your DNA feels relaxed, it unwinds a little bit, and that kind of spirally ladder looking thing, when you're stressed, it tightens up like a screw, and when you're relaxed, it opens up and expands a little bit. So even your cells and your genetic structure is going to relax and release stress. So you will actually get a hit of peace, not just from removing emotional pain and processing stuff, but you're going to get chemical compounds that help you stay in a more peaceful space for at least 24 hours after this session. So that is a win-win, right? You get the long-term benefit of processing things that are stuck in your subconscious, and then the short-term hit of oxytocin that is like, ah, yeah, mellow, feeling good, relaxed, opened up. And when you're in that relaxed space, your body releases healing chemicals and allows you to detox and rebuild and regenerate. So you're just going to do better physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually the more you do this process. So I'm really happy to be here with you. Okay, so we're going to do the core causes questions, and what that is a 5-minute live Google survey. It's really about you taking time to spiral down into what your topic is, what's underneath your topic, where it may have started. You've got 5 minutes to kind of drill down into that information. It's an anonymous survey. The answers aren't as important for us to see. It's more important for you to be asked those questions. So Suri is going to put a button here on the screen. If you're on a mobile device, you'll scroll down and see a orangish yellow button pop up that says Get Started. That's the link to the live survey. Otherwise, if you're watching this in the video library or on replay, you can follow along on the screen share and just jot down the answers. Ask yourself these questions. Let's take a few minutes to get clear. So I'm going to turn off my mics and videos so that you can concentrate for 5 minutes. There'll be no sound, no audio or video, and we'll be back with you in 5. Okay, everyone. Hopefully that was enlightening and probably a little triggering, meaning it stirred up stuff from the bottom, and that's what we want to do. We're actually kind of self-triggering ourselves so that we can have the dignity of processing it at our own pace, at our own time, at our own volition, before someone else triggers us or life triggers us and we're out in the world and we're losing it because this thing came up, right? So we're kind of bringing it up in advance, cleaning it out, and then we have more dignity and grace as we interact with other people. All right, so tuning into your issue, and when I say this issue, you're going to think about that thing that you're working on. Ready? Massaging the front of the chest, feeling around for a sore spot in the front of the chest, giving yourself a big, deep breath. Now really stay focused with me, okay? Big, deep breath. Big sigh. You're going to breathe like that, a nice big sigh, especially if you have a lot of intensity moving, either energetically, emotionally, or physically. Repeating after me, even though I have this issue, and you say what your issue is. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows, even though I have this issue. And smoothing down to the temples. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big noisy breath. Good. Tapping the cheeks, thinking about your issue, just tuning into it. However uncomfortable it is, just hang out there for a second and breathe. See if you can relax. And tapping into the nose. Part of me doesn't want to deal with this. And tapping under the lips. It feels really stressful. And tapping the chest. Spread your fingers out. Tap around in a big circle. You've got about 20 points on the front of your chest. See if you can find them all. This issue. Tuning into your issue again. Okay, now you're going to drop down and tap on the front of the rib cage, bottom of the ribs, right where your ribs stick out the most in front. This stressful issue. Big breath. And side seam of the body. Okay, you can cross your arms like this or do like this. This stressful issue. Okay, thinking about your issue again. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Even though a part of me feels blocked, I'm open to loving and trusting myself. Tapping the side of the thumb. Even though part of me feels blocked. And index finger. I accept the part of me that feels stuck. Just for 10 seconds, I want you to accept this part of you that feels trapped, blocked, or stuck. Tap the middle finger. I'm not sure what to do. And tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm not sure how to get through this. Tap the little finger. A part of me doubts if I can get through this. Tuning into your issue again. Noticing the part of you that doubts your capacity here. I don't know if I can make it through this. Tapping the side of the hand. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. And tapping the top of the head, the sides of the head, and the back of the skull. I accept the part of me that doesn't know if I can do this. Tuning into that place where you feel blocked. Tapping the temples. There's this big obstacle. I'm not sure if I can get through it. Tapping the cheeks. It feels really hard. Big breath. tapping under the nose. It feels so hard. Tuning in again to the level of difficulty that's present for you. And tapping under the lips, even though a part of me feels stress. I feel anxious. Tap the chest. I feel worried. I don't feel confident about this. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself even with this stress. Tapping the side of the ribs and breathe. Good. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I love and respect myself. If that's too hard to say, I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the side of the thumb, no matter how stressful or blocked I feel. Tapping the index finger. I accept the part of me that wants to avoid this feeling of stress. Tap the middle finger. I've been avoiding this, and it's just added to the confusion and overwhelm. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. It's not comfortable to look at this. Big breath. And tapping the little finger. I'm open to forgiving myself for avoiding as a strategy to survive. And tapping the side of your hand. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even if a part of me learned to avoid a long time ago any place that feels challenging or difficult. Tapping the top of the head. I've been taught to find the easy way out. Tapping the side of the head and the back of the head. Part of me wants to find the easy way out. Tap the eyebrows. I don't want it to take too long. Tap the temples. I want it to be easy. Tap the cheeks. And if it's not going to be easy, part of me bails. Tapping into the nose. A part of me resists. Tapping under the lips. Tuning into that resistance that comes up when you think something's going to be too challenging. Tapping the chest. I accept the part of me that goes into resistance, procrastinates, doesn't leave enough time. Tapping the front of the ribs. I love and accept myself even though part of me wants to avoid or rush. Tap the side of the ribs. Part of me avoids or rushes when I think it's too difficult. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm open to loving and respecting myself, even though I have a tendency to do what in regards to this obstacle? What do? Do you avoid? Do you rush? Do you force? Tap the side of the thumb. I'm giving myself the possibility of moving at a really sane and stable pace. Tap the index finger because I do want to get through this. I'm tapping the middle finger. I need to get through this so that I can do what? What's on the other side of this obstacle? Is it so that you can make a better living? Is it so that you can have a happy family or have a healthy body? Or learn something that's really special and important for you? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Part of me wants to grow my capacity. To have or to be what? Tap the little finger. That's why I've set out and come across this obstacle, because I have a desire on the other side of it. Tap the side of the hand. I have a desire to do what or to have what? Tapping the top of the head. And even though this obstacle is in the way, I'm tapping the sides of the head and the back of the head. It's okay. I'm tapping the eyebrows. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the temples, even with this obstacle, exactly as it is. That's hard to say, isn't it? That I accept myself with this obstacle just like it is. Oh man. Tapping under the nose. I give myself permission to feel stuck and overwhelmed for a few minutes. Tapping under the lips. Let's just admit how stuck and overwhelmed we feel. Can you do raspberry lips with me? Tap the chest. I accept the part of me that feels stuck and overwhelmed. Tapping the front of the ribs, just tuning into that part of you that feels overwhelmed by this. Whatever prospect of obstacle it is that you're looking at. Tap the side of the ribs. I accept this overwhelm. Big breath, tuning into that emotion of overwhelm. Just relax yourself for a minute while you experience the overwhelm. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm releasing the need to feel overwhelmed or avoidant. Tap the side of the thumb. Because secretly a part of me is ready to get through this. I'm tapping the index finger. Secretly a part of me knows I can do it. Tap the middle finger. If that's too hard to say, go ahead and say the opposite. Secretly a part of me thinks I'm going to fail. That might be equally as true. I got one piece over here. It's like, oh, I'm going to ace this. Another part is like, oh no, this is never going to work. Okay, tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Even if a part of me thinks I might fail, tap the little finger. I'm open to loving and cherishing myself. Ooh, cherishing myself? Tap the side of the hand. Even though a part of me is afraid of failing. Tuning into that part of you that's terrified that if you really put your effort into dealing with this, that it's just not going to work anyway. Tap the top of the head. I'm afraid it's going to be a huge waste of time and energy. Tapping the top of the head, the sides of the head, the back of the head, the eyebrows, this fear. Tapping the temples, this fear again. Big deep breath. And tapping the cheeks. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping under the nose, even with this fear of failure. Tapping under the lips. I deeply and completely accept myself, no matter how long I've been imagining that I'm not going to succeed. Tapping the chest, tuning into the specific way you think you might fail. Is it that you're going to waste your money? Is it that you're going to get your heart broken? Is it that you're going to look stupid and no one's going to like it? Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even though to really make progress, I have to deal with this fear that I'm not going to make it. Tap the inside of the wrist. It's possible I might put a lot of love and time and energy into this, and it might go nowhere. Oh, wow, that's hard to admit. Tap the side of the thumb. It's possible that this may not work out. Tap the index finger. That it might stink. Tap the middle finger. It might suck. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. It might turn out completely opposite of what I wanted. Tap the little finger. We're going to do worst case scenario tap, okay? Because this is how we deal with the fear of failing. We process all that anxiety. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'm aware of that. Instead of, no, I don't want to look at that. Tap the side of the hand. All right, you've got 10 seconds to describe how big of a fail it could be. How would that look for you? What's the worst case scenario? Go. Keep tapping. Tapping the top of your head. Down to the eyebrows. Keep going. You got 10 more seconds. Really get vivid. Keep tapping and breathing as you're talking. Tap the cheeks. Good. Tapping under the nose. And after all that happens, what else would happen? How could it completely screw you up if all that happened? Tapping under the lips. Even though a part of me is trying to keep all of that from happening. Tapping the chest. And me ending up, sick, sad, crazy, broke, dead, unloved, kicked out of the universe, totally embarrassed. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big breath. Tap the side of the ribs. And part of me is ready to take my chances. Tap the inside of the wrist. And part of me is still trying to prevent all that stuff from happening. Tap the side of the thumb. I forgive myself for trying to prevent all these horrible things from happening. Tap the index finger. By being paralyzed, stuck, terrified, overwhelmed. Tap the middle finger. Big deep breath. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. This fear. Tuning into what you're afraid of happening. If this doesn't work out right, tap the little finger. This fear. Tapping the side of your hand. I'm open to loving and expressing myself, even if part of me remains stuck and terrified. Okay, tapping the top of your head, tuning into that fear again. See how strong it is now. Tapping the sides of the head and the back of the head. I'm open to loving and releasing this fear. Tap the temples. This fear is trying to protect me. Tap the cheeks. It's trying to keep me from making a mistake. Tapping under the nose. From wasting my money, my time, from breaking my heart. Tapping under the lips. This fear thinks it's my friend. Tap the chest. That it's guiding and protecting me. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm allowing myself to pay attention to the wisdom that's here without becoming so scared I can't move. Tap the side of the thumb. This fear has some wisdom. It wants me to look out. To make sure that I have a doable strategy. Tap the inside of the wrist to make sure that I've gotten some help and some support. Tap the side of the thumb. This fear is trying to help me succeed. Tap the index finger. Thank you, fear, for trying to help me succeed. Tuning into wherever you feel that fear in your body. Do you feel it in your belly, in your neck, in your shoulders? Do you feel it in your head? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I accept the part of me that is holding on to this fear and storing it where? Tap the little finger. This fear that thinks it's protecting me, that's stored where? I'm tapping the side of the hand. It's safe for me to release this fear from my body. I'm tapping the top of the head, no matter how old it is. Tapping the sides of the head and the back of the head. I accept the part of me that wants to shut down, to run away and hide. And tapping the front of your cheeks and breathing. Just tuning into that part of you that wants to run away and hide. And tapping under the nose. I'm allowing myself to gently release this stuck feeling. Tapping the chest. I understand the fear is trying to protect me and is here to serve me. And tapping the front of the ribs, this remaining fear. Tap the side of the ribs, this remaining fear, tuning into it again. Tap the inside of the wrist. Is it getting a little harder to connect to that fear about your issue, that fear of failing, that fear of it being too hard? Tap the side of the thumb. It's okay for me to release the stress and worry. Tap the index finger, this overwhelm and fear. Tap the middle finger. I don't have to respond to obstacles like who? Who in your childhood gave you an example of stressing out, shutting down, choosing to avoid obstacles, to take the easiest way out, or the person who decided to just whack through so hard and so fast that they didn't have time and balance in their lives? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. That's sort of like foot on the gas or foot on the brakes. And if you're trying to drive a car and you're like, well, I'm either going to jam on the gas or just jam on the brakes, I would say you're not going to get very far. You're going to smash into something if you don't use the brakes, but you're not going to get very far if you can't use both of those. So you're going to need to go quickly sometimes and to slow down other times and to stop other times and to start again. And that's how you're going to get where you need to go. It's not going to be just one action. It's going to be the right action, movement, stillness, regrouping, re-strategizing, releasing, all of those things. Tap the little finger. I'm giving myself permission. Tap the side of the hand. To release any remaining fear about succeeding. Okay, so before we go into that whole piece, let's stop here for a second. Tune into your issue, and we're going to have our first check-in. We're going to do 3 check-ins. So tuning into the issue that you started tapping on a little while ago, you rated it in the core causes from 1 to 10, 10 being the most intense. Where do you think your issue as a whole is right now on a scale from 1 to 10? Go ahead and put that in the chat. If you're not chatting with us, you're tapping and tuning in to the remaining intensity and just being with that intensity for a minute. And that's not a stall technique here. This is actually you making the inquiry, is taking the circuitry of your brain where this stress, this project, this stuff is stored, and it's bringing empathy and electricity into a place that's been stagnant and stuck, and maybe the circuit breaker has been blown. So you're actually bringing healing by making that query. Okay? So Rick says he's still at an 8. Linda started out sobbing, now much less reactive. It's disappearing from an 8 down to a 10. Surya's went 4 up to an 8 as he's becoming more aware. I call that defrosting. So releasing whatever numbness or avoidance is there. And now he's really feeling what's there. And these numbers are normal for this time in the tap. Christina's gone down to a 7. Samadhi, a 9, dropped down to a 6. Mateo, an 8 to a 5. Ursula is at a 6. Celeste, a 10 down to a 7. Callista, a 7 to a 5. Laughing, climbing steadily down. Beautiful. Jen, a 10 down to a 6. Awesome. And Callista, oh, she's saying hi. Okay, and Kira, a 6 up to an 8. So some people are doing the wave as they start to really get present to what is happening inside. So we're going to tap a little bit more. Even though a part of me is afraid of succeeding. Tuning into the terror you may have about this obstacle being moved out of the way and you getting your goal. Sometimes, believe it or not, that can feel scarier than failing. Failing, okay, I know what it's like not to have this and to be stuck here, but I don't know how to deal with what's on the other side of this. Tap the eyebrows, big breath. And tapping the temples, even if part of me feels stressed about the idea of succeeding here. Tap the cheeks. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping under the nose. And under the lips. I love and forgive myself no matter how stressed out I feel about getting where I want to go. Tap the chest. Because if this obstacle wasn't here, I would suddenly have what or be what or do what. Tapping the front of the ribs, which might lead to what? Tapping the side of the ribs, which then might become what? Tap the inside of the wrist. Are you seeing how this goes? Are you seeing how a part of you kind of wants the obstacle there? Because it's kind of a big thing to suddenly go, pew. Tap the side of the thumb. I love and forgive myself, even if part of me is scared of moving past this. Tap the index finger. Because it would mean more energy. Tap the middle finger. It might mean more attention or more power. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. It might mean more responsibility. Tap the little finger. It might mean that I have to work harder or spend more time focusing than I currently have been. Tap the side of the hand. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even if a part of me wants to hold myself back and deny myself the success that moving past this would create. Tap the top of the head, sides of the head. I accept the part of me that feels scared about my success. And tap the eyebrows. I accept the part of me that feels scared about my success. What would your success be if you were to describe, okay, so this obstacle that we're working with has dissolved, it's cleared, the way's opened up. What would it look like for you? You got 10 seconds to describe what your success would be like. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the side of the ribs. Even if I get all the way through and it turns out just like this. I'm allowing myself to risk failure and to accept success. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm allowing myself to risk failure and to accept success. Tap the index finger. Big, strong breath. Tap the middle finger. I'm open to releasing myself from any ways I've been sabotaging myself in regards to this issue. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. What's one thing that you've been doing that you think is slowing you down or keeping you from getting where you want to go? Tap the little finger. Even if I may have been sabotaging myself by doing what? Tap the side of the hand. I'm open to loving and forgiving myself. Big breath. I forgive myself for sabotaging myself with the old what? Tapping the eyebrows. Sabotaging myself with the old what? Tapping the temples and the cheeks. I forgive myself for slowing myself down by doing what? Tapping under the lips. It's possible that I'm ready now. Tap the chest. It's possible that I'm getting ready. Just say whatever feels true for you. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm releasing my fear of having this obstacle move and me getting where I want to go. Tap the side of the ribs. And whatever that brings to me, tap the inside of the wrist. I don't know exactly what that will mean, but I'm curious to find out. Tap the side of the thumb. Can I respect myself for going there even if I don't have all the answers on the other side? Tap the index finger. I don't know how long it will take. Tap the middle finger and breathe. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I don't know how hard it will be. It might be easier than I thought. Tap the little finger. It might be harder thinking about doing it than actually doing it. Tap the side of the hand. I don't need to exhaust myself with worrying about it or thinking about it. I'm able just to gently move forward now. Tap the top of the head. Even though I've been telling myself it's going to cost me too much what? Is it too much time, too much effort, too much money? Tap the eyebrows. Let's turbo tap too much, whatever it is for you. Ready? So I'm going to say too much, and then you say time or money or effort. Okay? Tapping the temples. Too much. Tap the temples, and now down to the cheeks. Too much. Tapping under the nose. Too much what? Tapping under the lips. Way too much what? And down to the chest and breathe. Even though I've been telling myself it's going to take too much what? Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm releasing the stress and anxiety about this. Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm creating the optimal rate of flow of money. Tap the inside of the wrist. Optimal rate of flow around time and timing. Tapping this side of the thumb. Optimal rate of flow around support and my own ability to grow and to adjust. Tap the index finger. I'm allowing myself to release the idea that it's going to take too much anything. Tap the middle finger. It'll take what it takes. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I don't have to give it a lot of fear. Tap the little finger. I can just simply take some action now, including being patient, listening, waiting, and feeling into things. Whatever that action is for you. It could be a real concrete action like picking up the phone or making an appointment. But it could also be my action is actually just to hang out and wait and feel until the time is right and then move with a clear, decisive plan. Tapping the top of the head. I'm releasing any remaining stress or strain about, say your issue again. Tapping the eyebrows and breathing. I'm giving myself permission to have a miraculous way prepared for me. I'm giving myself permission to feel blessed, supported, and have a miraculous way prepared. Tapping under the nose and breathing. Tapping under the lips. I'm allowing myself to feel guided and supported every step of the way. Tapping the chest. I'm allowing myself to feel guided, loved, and supported every step of the way. Tapping the front of the ribs. And I'm feeling my own love, my own internal guidance. Tap the side of the ribs. And this deep support, my inner knowing, is really supporting me here. Beautiful. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm allowing myself to feel and listen to my inner knowing. I can feel intuitively how to move with this. Tap the side of the thumb. Including resting or waiting. Including taking a clear action. And tapping the index finger. So who have you been blaming for this obstacle? Let's work on some blame and some shame. Tap the middle finger. I've been blaming who? I've been blaming you, Sonya. I've been blaming the universe. I've been blaming Trump. I've been blaming my finances. I've been blaming my mom. I've been blaming my dad. I blamed Surya one time. Who else? Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. Even though I've been blaming myself, and who else? I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the little finger. Even if I blamed who? Oh my gosh, and who else? Is that all? Tap the side of the hand. This blame. It might really be their fault. It might really be my fault. Tap the top of the head. And I don't need to heap blame or shame on myself or anyone else for why I'm in this position. Even if it's technically this person's fault, I don't have to get stuck here in the blame and the shame. Tap the eyebrows. Releasing the shame and the blame from who? Let's go through that laundry list. Now you might be thinking, but what if it is their fault, Sonya? It's like, does it let them off the hook? It's like, no. The universe knows who's doing what. The universe has a way of giving us a course correction and helping us learn and grow. But you don't have to met out the punishments. You can let the universe handle all that. What we want you to do is have your energy back. And when you're locked up in accusing, fault-finding, blaming, shaming, deflecting responsibility, or attacking yourself, you get bogged down. So it's about being accountable. I'm accountable. Yes, I've created that. Yes, I did this to myself or to them, or I didn't do this, so here's where I'm at. But we don't have to get all tangled up emotionally around shame on you and you are stupid and all of those things. Tap the front of the ribs. Releasing the need to heap shame and blame upon whom? Tap the side of the ribs. Even if it's really this person's fault or all these people's fault. Tap the inside of the wrist. I'm releasing my need to be angry or to need them to apologize. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm getting my energy back from where it's been tangled up around accusing, fault-finding, blaming or shaming. Tap the index finger and breathe. Okay, it doesn't mean that you are now going to make some bad decisions because you stopped seeing the truth. It just means that you're not going to be all tangled up. It can be that person's fault. It can be your fault. But you don't have to be upset, angry, irritated, sad, afraid, demanding justice. You can just gently step on through. Tap the middle finger. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Even with this remaining energy that says, whose fault is it? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm allowing myself to learn and grow without getting bogged down in whose fault this is. Tap the little finger. Allowing myself to learn and grow without getting bogged down in whose fault this is. Part of me has been deflecting responsibility. Part of me wants someone else to blame. Part of me attacks myself for this. Tap the top of the head, the back of the head. I'm giving myself permission to release the shame or the blame Around what? What topic are we talking about? Tapping the eyebrows and the temples. Who in your family growing up used shame or blame tactics when they felt challenged with a difficult situation that they didn't know how to deal with? Could you have picked up this old shame and blame technique from your mother or your father, or a step-parent, or someone who raised you? Tapping the chest and breathing. Beautiful. I don't need to do it the way I learned from who? Tap the side of the ribs. I don't have to do it the same way Dad does it. Tap the middle of your wrist. I don't have to do it the same way Mom does it. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm allowing myself to acknowledge where things have gotten hung up, what needs to be cleaned up. Tap the index finger, and to move forward. Tap the middle finger. I'm allowing myself to move forward now. No need to attack myself any longer. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger, or anyone else, in an effort to teach them a lesson. Tap the little finger and breathe. Good. Tapping the side of the hand. Let's have another little check-in, shall we? So tuning into your issue that we've been working on. How do you feel about it now compared to where you were before? So put in the chat where I was at the beginning. Maybe you were a 10, maybe it's down to a 3 or a 4. And then also put what's still there that hasn't been tapped on, or what's holding this thing together for you and not letting it completely dissolve. Tapping and breathing if you're not chatting with us. What's still here? Where is it now? Christina says, I'm down to a 5. Underlying issue is wanting someone else's love. Beautiful. Super smart, Christina. Shelley, down to a 6 from an 8. Hard to believe things can get better. Okay. So you're just accepting your doubt and disbelief. Rick says it's down to a 5. The old story. Okay, so while I'm reading this, you just repeat what the old story is for a minute and tap. Let's take the edge off the old story. Maybe it can take some of the teeth out of it. Callista is down to a 4 from a 7. Linda, down a 10 down to a 4. Lots of confusion about what typos, I guess. Bettina, a 9 down to a 5. Underlying issue is all this resistance to change. Beautiful. Ashley Ann, down to a 5, working on trusting myself so I can let my intuition lead. Ursula, a 10 to a 6, sleepy and still feeling like I have to do it all by myself. Samadhi, down to a 3, feeling alone. Core issue again. Linda, lots of confusion about what to do. Celestine, down to a 5, I don't know when I'll be ready. Levy, far off, repeat pattern. Okay, beautiful. Massaging the front of your chest, even though this is still holding it together. Say whatever it is that you've just realized. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. This is still holding it together. Tapping the temples. A part of me feels what? Or is worried about what? Tapping the cheeks. Tapping under the nose. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping under the lips, no matter how long this has been happening. Tap the chest. This old fear of what? Tapping the front of the ribs. This old fear, say it again, of what? Inside of the ribs. I accept the part of me that's still processing what? Say it 3 times, tapping the inside of the rest. Side of the thumb. I accept the part of me that's still processing what? Tap the index finger. This old story. A part of me still trying to process what? Tap the middle finger. It's okay. Even if it comes down to the same old thing, tap the bottom of the 4th finger. I'm allowing myself to relax and forgive myself. Tap the little finger. So let's go into a memory. There's a memory that has this piece that still hasn't been healed, that's holding things together for you. Can you think of a defining moment, a moment when you were like, yeah, and that's when I decided this, or that's when I learned this? Or after that, things were never the same, and I always felt stuck. Can you remember one defining moment? There might be many of these memories that are all very similar, but pick one that really stands out, okay? Tapping the top of the head. One time, what happened? You've got 10 seconds. Go. Tapping and talking. One time, what happened? Tap the eyebrows. Keep going. Breathing. And tapping the cheeks. And as a result, what happened? Tapping under the nose. Tapping under the lips. And that's when, what happened? Tapping down to the chest. Tapping the front of the ribs. And even though part of me has held on to that moment, tap the side of the ribs and based my life on it. Tap the side of the inside of the wrist. That time in my life really defined me. Because it taught me what? What did you learn? Tap the side of the thumb. Tap the index finger. I want you to send some love back to that younger version of you that may have learned something kind of negative. Or learn to protect yourself, or to run away, or to shut down, or to push out, to lash back. Tap the middle finger, even though back when what was happening, I learned, tap the bottom of the 4th finger, to do what? Tap the little finger. It's okay. Tap the side of the hand. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. I'm bringing healing to this younger version of me that didn't have another way to deal with this. Tapping the top of the head. Bringing love and respect for this younger version of me that felt really what? And tapping the eyebrows. This younger version of me was trying to survive the best I could. Tap the cheeks. And I really needed what? What did you need back then? Did you need permission? Did you need honest information? Did you need love? Did you need protection? Tap the chest. I really needed someone to love me and support me. Tap the front of the ribs. To ask me who I was and what I needed. Tap the side of the ribs. To understand me and protect me. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I forgive myself for any remaining pain and fear, sadness and anger still in my body. Tap the side of the thumb. Any remaining confusion or doubt. Tap the index finger. Still in my body from that time. Tap the middle finger, thinking about that memory again. Sending that younger version of you a lot of love and whatever else was missing back then. So what would you like to say to that younger version of you? What would be really helpful for them to hear? I've got you. You're not alone. I totally believe in you. You're going to make it through this. And it's going to give you superpowers. Tap the little finger. You're going to make it through this. Tap the side of the hand. What does that younger version of you need to hear? Say it out loud 3 times in a row as you tap the side of your hand and breathe. Beautiful. Tapping the top of the head. Receiving that love back from then, bring it into now, and let that rewrite the story. Imagining that that child got the love, felt protected, was told the correct and real, true, good information, was given the skills, was given the opportunity. Allowing your body to feel what would it be like if your story was updated with that kind of love. What would it be like right now in your body? How would you feel sitting here tapping with me if that love actually existed back then for you? Let your body feel what that change would be like. Tapping the front of the ribs, tuning into it again. How does that change the way you're sitting or how you're breathing? Imagining that all this love and wisdom and support and nurturing was there for you. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Let your body have that experience again. This is maybe new information and you're reprogramming your senses, your body, your brain, and your emotions to be like, oh, I could have a different story. What would that feel like? Tap the side of the thumb, imagining that you were loved, that you were given the freedom and the sovereignty, the protection, and the information that you needed. Tap the index finger. I'm allowing my body to have this new updated story. The one where I win. Tap the middle finger. The one where I get what I need. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger, allowing myself to feel the peace of this. Tap the little finger. How much more joy and strength I have now from this updated story. Tap the side of the hand. Feeling safe to be in my power. Clearer in my decisions. Trusting myself. Tapping the top of the head. So I want you to give yourself a positive affirmation now. What is a part of you really need to reprogram yourself to believe or feel? Giving myself permission to now feel and think what? Tapping the eyebrows, giving myself permission to now feel and think. Say it again. Tapping the temples. Let's say it again with some enthusiasm. I'm now allowed to feel what? Tapping the cheeks. And to think to myself, hey, I can do this. A way is being provided for me. Tapping under the lips. I'll take it as it comes. Tapping the chest. I'm going to give it my very best and relax as I keep moving forward. Tapping the front of the ribs. Put in the chat what your positive statement is that you're reprogramming yourself with. Allowing myself to now feel or believe what? If you're watching this on replay, write it down. And even if you're writing and you're doing this live with us, write it on a piece of paper. Stick that piece of paper on your dresser, on your mirror. Stick it on your fridge where you can see it. This is your new thought on your altar. Here I go. I'm now creating this for myself. And every time you read that thought, it's going to go a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper until that is your new truth. So we're going to have our final check-in. How are you feeling now compared to where you were at the beginning? And what are you committing to? And I think you kind of just wrote what you're committing to when you said, for example, Kira says, I'm allowing myself to feel my full power and take care of others through myself and celebrate my gifts. Azura, I am God. It is true. You are a little baby divine being growing in your capacity to cause and to create and to flow with and to listen to the truth and to move with it. It's a very beautiful thing. Okay. I love you all. It's so good to see so many beautiful, familiar names and faces. Levy and Touchstone and Kira and Bettina and Shelly and Samadhi and everybody. I'm so glad you're here with me. Thank you for showing up. And we'll see you next week.